Gaming Today presents Cash Considerations.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is Friday, December 18th, but as always, you guys will be listening to this over the weekend or next week, 1 week before Christmas. We got a lot of stuff going on. Let me bring in the boys real quick. I got Carl Hascall at Carl Hascall. He's fresh off of surgery, but he's here and he's going to do his thing. We got Reynolds. I am Reynolds 2305 producing the show. And, as always, he's running it both ends, candles everywhere, news conferences, all kinds of things. But he's here. And we got a special guest also from the East Coast, New England guy. We're going to get to him in 1 second. My name is Dave Sherapan. I am at Sportsbook Consig. And our guest this evening, he's staying with us the whole night. He's up late like Carl. Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the CEO, founder of East Coast Sports Investments. Jeff, JD, what's up?
How are you, Dave? Blessed and honored to be here.
Oh, man. We haven't heard that one yet, Reynolds. I mean, this is the way you start off the show. Blessed and honored to be here tonight. All right, so we're just going to get to it. For the listeners that don't know Jeff, we're going to bring him to the fold, welcome him to the family, as he has done with me and the ECSI family. Little background check, what we're doing, what we're going, where we're at, and where we're going to be. And then he's going to stick around because he's got opinions about the NFL Run and Shoot 7, the laying and taking segment of the show, college football, and then I'm guessing he's going to have a minute to take as well at the end. So, without further ado, Jeff, where are you from, man? Where are you at right now with that fancy background for the YouTube feed? It's beautiful. Where are you at?
I am in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, about 1 hour south of Boston.
Okay. And that's where you're from? You're from that area growing up and all that stuff?
Yeah, born in Stoughton. Relatives, everyone lives in West Bridgewater, about 10 minutes from Brockton, the city of champions.
Oh.
And Rocky Marciano, Marvin Hagler. Yep. And but my family grew up in West Bridgewater, and for the most part, I grew up on Cape Cod.
Okay. Gambling background? Where did this start? This love of gambling? I'm sure there's some people there on the Cape that maybe have gambled a little bit.
Quite a bit. There's not much supposedly we can do in the fall and winter time on the Cape other than in the summertime with the beaches and stuff. But biological father, big time gambler. And I saw it early, at the bars, watching the football games while I played the jukebox. I was that kid in middle school and high school handing out football cards.
Oh, guilty. Done that. Yep.
It officially started, though, in 75, Red Sox and Reds World Series. I was in 5th grade. I was 12 years old, and I bet a classmate 50 cents. I had the Red Sox. He had the Reds, and he won in 7 games, and I was off and running.
Oh, man. Was that the Carlton Fisk home run in that World Series?
Game 6.
There it is. Wave it over there. That's right. Oh, my gosh. So you thought you had it after Game 6, right? I mean, that had to be one of those ones.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I think even we had Louis Tion starting Game 7 too. But that Reds team was, a machine, and at least we got to 7 games, right?
Yeah. So everybody that's in this business, like you, for such a long time, has probably made a trip to Vegas once or twice and come out and made the rounds or had a good gambling story just in general, not necessarily in Vegas. But what's one of the ones maybe that you want to even mention or talk about as far as good gambling stories or coming out to Vegas and making some contacts? We have never met in person. We've talked a lot and traded a lot of texts, but I'm sure you got something that, you maybe want to share with the listeners.
I go to Vegas between 3 and 4 times a year. Obviously, with COVID, it slowed down last year. We had our annual 2-week trip set up in March on the 17th, and that was taken away from us. 2017 ECSI. We were struggling, and we were getting ready for conference play, and we went on the most epic run in the history of, in my eyes, in the conference championship and March Madness. We went 30-2, and we got up to Vegas, and we went 15-1 while we were in Vegas, and
Wow.
I was on the strip.
What was the loser? I know you remember it.
The first loser was in the semis with Gonzaga. They didn't cover. And
Okay.
then in the finals, if I'm not mistaken, they lost to North Carolina.
Yeah, I think so.
And so those were the two right there that kind of slowed the rally down. But when I go there, you know, listen, I'm not one of these guys that is betting 5 and 10 dimes a game. I get up to Vegas, I bring a nice, you know, 3 to 5 dime bankroll, and I start anywhere from $3 to $4 a game. And once you start rolling, we'll increase. But let's just say the trip was paid for 3 and 4 times over.
So it didn't all start at ECSI, obviously. This is something, you know, we'll get to that in a second. But, like, you know, we've talked off the air. We shared some good stories. Give the listeners a story about working in the phone room of a guy selling picks back in the day. Like, this is how this business started. And a lot of these things are true, right? Like, what happened? What was your experience working in a phone room for a pick seller?
So the late 80s, early 90s, I just took a ad from the newspaper, sports experience sales rep. And I went into Boston, and I had no idea what they were talking about, hired on the spot. So here's a typical day. You get there at 1:15, and I'll use last night's game. Raiders favored by 3.5. And they hand you a list. You sit down on the desk, and I have 3 minutes per call. So I'd pick up the phone, and I would introduce myself as Jeff Dawson from Northeast Sports. How are you today? And back then, no cell phones. There was no telemarketing. There was nothing. So as a sports gambler, most of the times you guys want to talk back to us. In my 3 minutes, I needed to find out if you were playing the games, how much you were playing per game, and to make sure I got that game out to you. That was the big three. And so I would go through, I just got your name. It landed on my desk. I heard you're a very reputable gambler. How are the games going, Dave? Well, I'm not playing that much. And I'd be like, well, how much do you play a game? And then you would probably lie to me. Oh, I'm only playing 25s or 50s. Or you could be that big wig. Well, I bet 500, 600, 700 a game. And so my job is to give you the game. So I'd say, hey, our team today is in love with the Raiders. Take the Raiders minus the 3.5 points. When it wins, because it will win, here is my 800 number, and call me back tomorrow. And then I click. So then I'd pick up the phone again, and I'd call Carl. And I'd say, hey, Carl, this is Jeff Dawson at Northeast Sports. How you doing? I'd give him the same pitch. And at the end of the call, I'd give him the Chargers plus 3.5.
Nice.
Okay. So the name of the game from 1 to 7 is to get out as many games as you can. Okay. So you have 50 people on the Raiders, and you have 50 people on the Chargers. So you're going to have 50 winners and 50 losers. So what happens is on Tuesday is the 50 losers are on the horn like this. I lost the mortgage. I lost the farm. You know, you told me you were a $50 better, but he bet 500 that game. And what we had to do then is try to give them 3 games, hope to go 3-0. So at least we're 3-1 with you. Or if we go 2-1, we're at least 2-2. We still have a shot. But if we go 0-3, we just pass your name and phone number to the next guy at the desk, and he'll call you in 3 or 4 days. And then Carl wins. So now he's not going to call me, of course.
That's
So
his
now
nickname, by the way. That's Carl's nickname. Now that you just said that, Carl wins. Okay, go ahead.
I like that.
So now I pick up and I call Carl. Hey, Carl, how'd you like the Chargers? They won outright. An easy win for us. And Carl's going to tell us, well, Jeff, I don't know you from Adam. I don't trust you, and I didn't play the game. Okay? So again, they want more and more, free. So I try to build up a rapport with Carl. Well, Carl, how much do you play a game? Carl says I play $3 a game. Bingo. Now I know. Do us a favor, Carl. Put $3 on this game tonight. When it wins, because it's going to win, call us back and we'll try to get you set up for a package. So let's just say for poops and giggles that this game wins. Now, Carl's 2-0. Maybe he played that game for $1 or $2, or maybe he did play for $3. So now he calls us back. Now we got him on the hook. Okay. Oh, yeah. So now I want our winners to pay for the service. So what I'm going to tell Carl is he won $300. Put $300 on tonight's game. When it wins, because it's going to win, you're going to be up $600. Send us $375 for 20 plays. Put $225 in your pocket, and then we'll start a relationship that way. And so say he wins, and back then there was only 2 ways to send, Western Union and MoneyGram. That was it. Or if you were a big-time player on commissions, once a week you would send it through FedEx. Okay? Oh. So that was the old money in the magazine, in the envelope, and then shit. And so now the goal is simple. Carl's 3-0. He's got 225 to the left. He sent us 375. Now he's got 20 games. So he thinks he's going to be in for 2-3 weeks. Hell no. We're giving him 3 games a day, 3 games a day, 3 games a day. Saturday, 5 games. And next thing you know, Carl, 8 days later, his 20-game package is up. And if you went 12-8, maybe 13-7, he might re-up again. But that was the racket, Dave. It was sketchy back then.
Wow. And so, I mean, do you have staying power with that, or is that just a burn and churn? Just give me more names, give me more numbers, and go from there.
What you would tend to do, the longer you stayed there, the more credibility that you gained. So I would know Carl is a legit sending customer. I would know Dave is a legit sending customer. So when you're sending out your games on a daily basis, you start to handicap in your mind. Let's say I loved the Chargers last night, and I thought the Chargers was an easy play. I'd give all the bums the Raiders because I don't want them to win, and I'd line up all my paying or hopefully paying customers on the Chargers. And then, of course, the hierarchy would start to see that, you know.
Right.
The best story I can give you, there was an old timer named Tom Gaston. He owned a lumber company in Louisiana, big time horse player. He was a 5-dime player. Okay. He'd call us up, and I got him finally. And the company would pay us 20% commission at the end of the week. So someone like Tom Gaston, if you could get on a heater, you could make some good money. And I got Tom on a 10-0 heater. He won 50 grand one week. He sends the company 10 grand, the 20%.
In the envelope? Was that an envelope?
In the envelope, FedEx.
Yeah, cash money, baby.
And then I got my 20% off of it. So the company made $8,000, and I made $2,000 commission.
Wow. That was the biggest score you made?
Yes. Yep.
How long did you last doing that?
I probably lasted 2 companies about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long run in that gig, right?
Especially back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at stale newspapers. I was a 5 newspaper guy. I was the Boston Herald, the Boston Globe. I was the Post, the USA Today, and then they had the National came out on Fridays.
Oh, the National. That was a great publication. I love that thing.
So
wow.
I was just, a junkie. I was just reading newspapers. I mean, ESPN had just come on not too long ago. You had 900 phone numbers to get the updates every 10 minutes on the scores.
The score phone. for the kids listening to the show, you had to call a number and pay to call it to get the scores, and they were updated every 10 minutes. So if you called right at the beginning, you got stale scores. If you called right after, at least they were updated quickly. So you had a time when you called the thing. Believe it or not, people, that actually was a thing. That was the only way to get the scores, at least up to date. All right, so then the next question is this. I mean, you got the story. You're giving out both sides of the game at these companies you're doing this. Why would somebody buy picks at all? Like, why? Like, now you're in the business, and it's a much more, honestly, there's nothing close to what you're doing to what it was, what you experienced. But, like, why? Tell someone why should they buy picks at all?
Now or back then?
Well, back then it was a scam. It was impossible. But now, like, we're going to get to, what ECSI does, but, like, why? Tell me why. So what you guys do, and, like, why would you recommend someone buy picks now? Who is it for and who isn't it for?
I think the problem in today's game is ESPN. It's Fox. It's social media. There is so many people that call themselves professionals, and they're just out there to make a buck. And what I like to say is ESPN and Fox, the crawler, I call it's the carrot. It's giving the public a reason to bet the game. You go to the water cooler and someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, Dave, just to let you know, the Celtics are 10-0 on Fridays after they lose by double digits or more on Wednesday."
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And so everyone's like, "Oh, my God, there's the play." Okay? And and I know it's not going to win. Okay? And the only question I have to the public is, where was this the first 10 times? It was nowhere to be found. It's when it rises to the occasion, it's when it loses. So there is so many more, there's so much data, there's so much resources now out there. We follow Sports Insights. We also follow Don Best. So like a sports broker, we follow over 50 sports books around the clock. We're your sports broker. I get every alert, every half point move, wind, referees, scratches. I have the whole Vegas Strip. I have DraftKings. I have FanDuel, Bovada, 5 times. Whatever your book is, I probably can follow it. And what we do is we do all the work for you because, Dave, it's a myth. The myth is you cannot win long-term in sports gambling. And January 1st will be our 6-year anniversary since we went public. January 1st, 2015, I turned to the wife. I said, "I'm done. I'm not working for the man anymore." I owned my own pizza and sub shop. I worked in golf. I was always wondering how you guys came up with the numbers. And I was going to figure it out. I was on Twitter in 2012, and there was gambling Twitter, and I laughed at everyone giving out all their picks. And I was like, I can do what these guys are doing. So I just didn't want to use the word gambling. It's always investing. Hey, if you can invest in stocks, you can invest in Bitcoin, you can become a day trader. Why can't you make money long-term in sports? And so for a year and a half, I got chastised, laughed at, all on Twitter. It's not investing, it's gambling. What are you? Who are you? Someone special? Well, now if you go on to Twitter or any social media, everyone is sports investors. They're not gambling. Right. We're investing.
Yeah. Well, no, that's for sure. And like you can see how it's turned with, it being investing and like the equating to stocks and, upselling and teams on the rise, stocks on the rise, buy, sell, in-game wagering is like, day trading. It's crazy. All the parallels. It's nuts because I was saying that like 25 years ago when I was sitting with an investment guy and I said, this is just like betting. He's like, no, it's not. It's different. It's really not. So it can be both, I think. So you mentioned that the heater in college hoops, the all-time heater was 30-2. For someone that, would go to your website and look up East Coast Sports Investments, what is your best sport? I mean, like you're all over the place. I get the daily email. You sign up. You get a daily touch from someone every day with what you're looking at, where you were. The results are transparent as can be. So there's no like 5-star this, 6-star this, none of that bullshit, none of it. So what is your best sport, would you say, to someone new to it? And then, where are you going with this? Where is ECS? Where do you hope to be with a year from now or even 6 months?
We do all sports, but with that said, Dave, I would honestly say college hoop is our best sport. And this week alone, we're 7-0, and 6 of those are college hoop games. To start the season, we're 21-6 already in college hoops. And today we sent out the alert at 11:59 a.m. because I saw that movement coming in the Richmond game. I saw that there was going to be, we were on the other side, and we had a chance to get that at 2.5. And it was 2s across the board, and I released 2.5 minus 120, telling everyone to buy the hook. Okay. And we won the early game, and then the late game, Richmond was killing them, and a great second half, and it landed on 2. So that game closed at 1. So if I waited till 5 o'clock to send out the alert, the most people would have got was 1.5, and it would have became a loser. So I say college hoop. We do great in the kids, college hoop, college football. And Dave, you can you can be a testimony for this. Is our week is predicated on grinding Monday through Friday, usually a big day on Saturday, and then we pump the brakes on Sunday.
Yeah.
Especially in the NFL. I call it quicksand Sunday because everyone here knows you can't win on Sundays in the NFL long term. You can't. So we take the leftovers, we put together a little action parlay, usually 4, 5, 6 to 1, and we call it Envelope Monday. Like this week, we're up 7 units. So we'll play tomorrow. We'll have a little parlay. We're going to win at least 5 units guaranteed coming into Monday. So when the clock strikes midnight on Sunday night, it's Envelope Monday, and the guys, it's not a free swing. That's the problem with the public. If you're up 5 units going into Sunday, it's a free swing. Well, that's not the case. Or if you're down 5 units, then the chase and the quicksand Sunday begins. And then you woke up Monday morning, hungover, you owe the man 15 units, and now you're wondering how you're going to pay him on Monday.
Right. Yeah, no, I can say it just because I get it every day. You can get it via text, you can get it via email, and I read it every single day, and I hear you saying it as I read it. So that's the fun part of it too, where, it has the language in there. You always welcome in new customers and all kind of things, but you're about just, making money, like grinding it out. You're not about action. If you're looking for action, it's not for you. There's other people that'll give you action. There's days you don't have a play. You don't force anything. So I can tell you, and I saw it like back in the, when sports was shut down, golf started, you guys dabbled in the golf. You guys dabbled in the UFC. Like so you adjusted. And I think that there's a lot to be said for that like a lot of people don't do, or they're just like selling picks. Like it's just, I think there's more long-term thought process with yours, and I can't say that about everybody. I got to ask you one more question before we move on to our usual stuff. What's worse, the guy that wins and calls you, or the guy that loses and calls you? The guy that wins and calls you wants more. The guy that loses just wants somebody to blame and give you shit. Which one is worse for somebody that's been in this business as long as you have?
It's no doubt the guy that calls up with that one loss. It's last week we start the week 5-0, and we had a bad beat Friday night on North Texas, and then Saturday we had the bad beat on UCLA. They don't talk about the 5 wins. The first thing they talk about is North Texas. Or Saturday they talk about UCLA. And the other thing, Dave, is we'll send out an alert Saturday, let's say around noon. We'll have a 12:30 game, maybe. Let's say a 2 o'clock game and a 3:30 game. Let's say we sweep the board, okay? So now it's 6:30. People are like twiddling their thumbs. They're like, hum-de-dum-de-dum. And then I'll get someone that will send me a text. They'll get me on Twitter. Hey, Jeff, you got any more? It's like crack. I'm like, guys, we just won 3 units. Well, there's games on at 7. There's games on at 8. There's the Pac-12 at 10, and don't forget the Hawaii game at 1. And and I'm like, here's the hardest part. What's the difference between going 3-0 or 10-6? It's the action. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's hard to win one unit, never mind 3 in one day, but they just want more and more and more.
Yep. That's the hard part about this business, man. It's just it's action, and when you win, they want more, and you're just like, listen, I don't have a play. I'm not. What am I going to do? I'm going to give you a loser, and then I got to hear your shit. No, we're good. 3 wins is good. Like, that's enough. So, well, that's Jeff Dawson, boys and girls. He's at EC Sports Invest. He's the CEO/founder of East Coast Sports Investments, which is based back east. So you get it all when you get it, and you get Jeff. So, listen, I have never been one to say, like, buy picks, and it's up to you. You make your own judgments. But I think if you're thinking about it, it's worth looking up at the website. You got a great website. You got the merch. I'm wearing the hat. I wear the hat everywhere I go. You got nice stuff, and you got quality picks. So you get Jeff, you get the picks. Look into it when you get time.
If you tell everyone listening, if they go to Google search, type in sports investors. We're the number 1 ranked sports investors in the world.
Look at that shit. All right, Stu Feiner. All right, Stewie. Here we go. All right, let's get to some regular shit here. Before I do, I just want to mention be sure to sign up for the weekly Gaming Today newsletter, which highlights the latest stories from the sports betting and casino industry world. All you have to do is put your email address in the box on the GamingToday.com homepage. Speaking of Gaming Today, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, you saw him slide in there. Audio people, you didn't know he was here. He was in stealth mode. But Howard Barish, the managing editor of Gaming Today, is here. HB, what's up?
Hey, Dave. Hey, guys. How are you?
That's Jeff, Howard. That's Carl. I don't know if you've met Carl yet in person, but that's Carl, HB. You know Reynolds. He's sitting there. Yep. So you just popping in, or you sticking around? You got a game for us? You leaving? What are you doing?
I'm going to stick around. It's been a while, and
okay.
I'm just participating if you don't mind. If you want to kick me out, I'll leave.
Well, we'll see what you say about the first couple games, and then we'll determine that. So you're on the hook. All right. So we're going to do run and shoot 7 plus 2. It's a 2-point conversion. Then we're going to do laying or taking, which last week Carl went 2-6-1. I went 3-5-1. So we're doing good. Just right on pace, right under 500. That's perfect. And then we're going to do take a minute. So Mo at He These Takes, not here, but happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Mo. I hope you're upright. I know it was yesterday, Thursday, at He These Takes. Follow along on Twitter. He's out of control, boys. I don't know where he's at. Again, he's working on his Hebrew. He sent me a text, L'chaim. He's working on it. He spelled it right and everything, so he's getting help from Ariel. It's good to see. Carl, how are you, sir? Before we start, you're good to go?
I'm good to go. Let's go.
All right, at Carl Hascall. The show is at GT Cash Consider, and our boy Alan Berg is still at Percent Berg. All right, fellas. Saturday NFL this week. Saturday NFL. We're spreading it out all over. We've had games every day of the week in the NFL this season, except Saturday. Why not Saturday now? 2 games Saturday. The first one, time-wise, it's on the bottom half of the rotation, but it's Bills-Broncos, fellas. Bills minus 5.5. Total's down to 48.5. These Buffalo Bills will not go away. 10-3, 8-5 against the number. Broncos, big win on the road last week. 5-8, 8-5 against the number. 5.5 points on the road. Buffalo. Carl, kick us off with the sling. You got, first dibs here. Bills, Broncos, over, under, side. Anything you got?
Yeah, I hope we don't spend the next half hour with Jeff telling me why I'm wrong on all these picks. But, I got to be honest. I don't know how Denver scores in this game. And I've said it 3 weeks in a row now. Buffalo is a Hail Mary away from winning 7 in a row. So they've won their last 4 games by 10 points. I don't see how Denver stays in this game. I like Buffalo.
All right. Guess, Jeff, JD, that's the way you're going to be known right now. Give me a side total, anything you're leaning at. Now, listen, I know people are going to maybe purchase, I'm glad to hear that it's called Quicksand Sunday. So if you don't, mind giving a play, if you say pass, you can pass whatever you want. Go.
I look at this, and the game opened at 6. It has moved to 5.5. I'm showing about a 64% bet rate and 83% of the money all coming in on Buffalo, yet the line dropped a half point. So what I say here is that the reverse line movement on Denver, say the sharper, heavier money is coming on Denver, public on the Bills. So I would lean Denver here plus the 5.5.
Okay. HB, opinion, anything?
Yeah, I think the Bills won't be as offensively charged up this week. I think it's kind of a breather before next week's New England game. And Denver can't score many. Unless there's defensive touchdowns, I'll lean to the under.
Okay. I don't really like the game. I think I would lean Denver, just based on Buffalo having a letdown. But I keep picking those games wrong. The other game Saturday is the Panthers going to the Packers. The Packers are 8.5-point favorites. The total's 51.5. Seems a little bit high to me, but the Packers are 10-3, 8-5 against the number. Panthers 4-9, 7-6 against the number. They're a mess. You don't know what you're going to get with Carolina. Let's start off with you, JD. I don't. You like anything here?
I really, really don't. If I had to lean anything, I'd grab the points with Carolina and just hope and pray they keep it within a touchdown. But it would be a soft pass easy.
Yeah. How about you, HB?
Pass.
Carl?
Yeah, I don't really like this game. I don't like the Carolina as bad as they are. They hang around. They don't lose by big numbers. If I had to lean, I'd lean Green Bay, but I'm probably going to pass on this one.
This is a teaser special. This is going to be on every freaking teaser ticket to start the weekend. The Packers are going to be teased down on almost every one, and the ones that aren't, they're taking the Panthers up. So this is a teaser game. It's a teaser line. I don't like the game picking it at all either way, just straight up. All right, those are the two. I think that was a conversion if you're keeping score at home. Let's get to the 7. Run and shoot 7. We start off with the Monday night game, which we never do. But again, Carl makes the formula. Carl does the formula. Listen, you're tweeting out that shit at GT Cash Consider, and you're giving people the secrets. I saw a little bit of the calculations. Just give them a tease. Just give them a tease. You don't
a little peek behind the curtain.
That's it. That's it. They can take a peek, but they can't see it all.
Nope.
All right. Steelers, Bengals. My God, this number's absurd. Steelers are minus 13. The total's only 40 or 40.5. Again, if you do the math, how can a line be 13 and the total only be 40? That almost means to me that the Bengals are going to be shut out. Maybe 7 points. That's really the only way. 27-7, something like that, and keep this under. 20-point victory, 17-point victory by the Steelers. Again, math for me says to take the Bengals, but that team is D-E-A-D. That team is dead. This game is shit. I don't like it at all. I'm just hoping the Steelers get out of it unscathed without an injury so they can move on to the Indy game next week. Let's swing the order around different this time. Let's start off with HB. Howard, Steelers, Bengals, Monday night. Anything?
Tease. Steelers to the over.
Steelers to the over. That'll get you kicked out of most books. That's a correlated teaser, sir. Good luck with that one. We'll see what happens. JD, side total here.
So your quick math, Vegas does have Pittsburgh winning this game 27-14. So there's your 41. But I think Pittsburgh finds a way to get back on track. I can't see Cincinnati scoring more than 10. I would lean the Pittsburgh Steelers minus the 13.
You're nodding in agreement, Carl?
I am nodding in agreement. This is, 2 losses in a row for Pittsburgh. They got to straighten stuff out. This is a perfect time for them to get straight against Cincinnati. I like them by 3 touchdowns in this game.
Carl, has Pittsburgh kind of dropped off a little bit in your mind for a threat in the AFC to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think Kansas City, we know Kansas City's the team to beat. I know they're letting everybody hang around and they're only winning, and we'll get to that in a little bit. They're letting everybody hang around in these games. I think we get into the last 3 or 4 games of the season here, they're going to blow the doors off some teams and be ready for the playoffs.
Okay. You said that a little too fucking fast, by the way, that the Steelers are done. Like, anyone listening, you heard that shit. He's just like, oh, yeah, they're done. They're done. Shit. Okay. All right. I know.
If you really want to go down this road, I don't know if Pittsburgh wins their first playoff game.
This would be one of those notes you just jot down for both Reynolds and myself. Put that one in the notes. Carl's saying they lose the first playoff game. Very unsure, depending on the matchup. We'll revisit that after they make the playoffs.
Dave might put you on probation.
No. We'll just remind them. That's all. That's what we do. Speaking of playoffs and teams not making the playoffs, let's go to game number 6. And I got some New England guys in the house. We got New England. They're going to Miami. This team's been on vacation for 3 weeks in L.A., back-to-back weeks, and now they go to Miami. All the warm weather places in December. Pretty good deal. They're catching 2 points to Miami. Fellas, they don't play good in Miami, do they? But they do own rookie quarterbacks, in case you hadn't heard, which, by the way, everybody's talking about. Even my sister-in-law said to me today, why would you say that Miami's going to win? Bill Belichick doesn't lose to rookie quarterbacks. She ain't watched football in 10 years, and she knew that shit. The Dolphins have a league best record, 10-3 against the number. The Patriots are 6-7, both against the number and straight up. All right, let's get me out of the way. I like Miami. I think that Flores figures out a way to beat that offense is shit. So is Miami's. But I just feel like this is the public dog of the week, and I'm going to go with Miami to continue the road to hopefully playing Pittsburgh in round 1 and coming up to Pittsburgh in January. That's the matchup I want. Howard, I'll let these guys go last. What do you think?
I agree. As great as Belichick is generally, there are too many Patriots that held out this year, and it's not the same. So
that record was built up with Brady under center, not a hybrid of Cam Newton instead of making some time this week.
But you have all those guys like Patrick Chung and the I can't remember some of the other names that have held out. They're not playing this year because of COVID. And I just think it's not nearly the type of New England team that we're used to, even without Brady.
Carl, tell me why I'm wrong, please.
Oh, I wish I could. Here's the big red X, the big black X right there in this game. I don't bet against the Patriots if they still have a chance of making the playoffs. And they have a chance. They're not going to do it, but they have a chance, and I can't bring myself to root against them. I would bet Miami if this game was next week, but this week I have to pass.
Fair. All right. I was hoping to get it out of you because your record on those New England games are really –
They're going to lose by a lot.
Oh. Jeff, tell us why we're right or wrong. There's a hand up. What do you got?
I never drank the Kool-Aid. I am not in Bill we trust. I do like Bill over Tom. I apologize. I do think, it's the chicken and the egg factor. And I just slight edge to Bill over Tom. But either Sports Insight is throwing us a curveball here or not. 58% of the bets, 62% of the money is coming in on the Dolphins. Line opened at 3. It went down to 1.5. It's now 2. So there is reverse line movement on the Patriots. Money line. Miami opened at -140. Now -125 with 65% of the money. As much as this kills me, I would take the Patriots plus the 2.
Okay. That's good. I was hoping you'd say that. That way I can text you on Sunday when the Dolphins win by 10. I can't wait.
And I'm rooting for that.
I can't wait. All right. Man, game number 5. Buccaneers. Atlanta. Buccaneers are up to 6, fellas. It's heading north. It's going to 7. It's who the hell is betting Atlanta? My God. Buccaneers 8-5, 7-6 against the number. Atlanta had a win last week and gave it right back to the Chargers. I guess everybody felt bad for the Chargers and Anthony Lynn. Matt Ryan was a terrible pass. They were going to win that game by 3. Instead, they lose by 3. Now they get to host in the first of what's going to be 2 games against the Buccaneers with a game in between. Carl, you start. Tell me why. First of all, why is this game on the list? And then 2, what do you like?
Why is this game on the list? The formula spelled this game out. That's
Fair.
why.
That's it. That's all. That's it. Exactly.
2 things. Tampa Bay doesn't lose to bad teams. Atlanta doesn't beat good teams. Mix all that up together. There's no way Tampa stays within a touchdown in this game. Excuse me. No way Atlanta stays within a touchdown. This is Tampa all the way.
Howard, yes, no, agree?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know I sound like a chalk eater tonight, but Brady's got some sort of gaudy stat in domes as well.
Okay. JD, agree?
I agree. The only thing with the Bucs now is it seems like they're not covering. They should have lost the game. Bailey missed 4 field goals and an extra point. They're just struggling. I do expect them to win. Wouldn't be shocked though if Atlanta found a way to cover. But I'll follow the team here, and I'll say that the Bucs win by 7 or more.
I'll ask you this question: are the Buccaneers a threat to win the Super Bowl in the NFC? I mean, because I personally think their defense. I think their defense stinks. And I think Brady, if he has to get out of Florida and play a game that's not in a dome, he's 43 and looks every bit of it when he has to play anywhere where it's cold or there's wind. You've seen Brady forever. I mean, are they going to go win in January and get to the NFC Championship?
I think initially we thought that, okay? They have no running. They brought Fournette over. Ronald Jones isn't the answer. They're setting up to either go to Washington or the Giants. And those are 2 places I don't think Tom wants to go to. So I think they're one and done.
Wow. Okay. That's good. Keep that one in mind as well. Keep note there. Number 4, let's keep moving. Colts host the Texans. Colts -7.5. 51 is the total. The Colts are 9-4, fellas. They're not going away. They're 8-5 against the number. The Texans are 4-9, 4-9 against the spread, and they got killed. They saved Chicago's season. They showed up and made Chicago look good and made people believe that the Bears can actually still be in the hunt, which they're not in the hunt. Just for people listening in Chicago, thank you for listening to Chicago. Chicago, we're getting big. You're number 3 on the list behind outside of Vegas. It's Atlanta. It's Denver, and then it's Chicago right now. Number 3 cities that listen to the show or watch the show. I don't like this game at all. This is the AB special where he would get on the list because of the formula, and I'd go, well, I don't have an opinion about this game, but I hope someone does. So let's go back to JD. Let's swing it back this way. Colts at home against Houston. Pass. You're shaking your head.
I think the Colts win. I don't like the number. It's a pass.
Howard?
This was the one I wrote for in gaming today this week. This is
Sweet.
a pick.
Give me something.
Again, for some reason, all the games that are in the 7 are chalky for me. The Colts are tied with the Titans for the division lead. I think the game's very important. Houston sent it in last week. I think the Colts win by double digits.
Carl's nodding in agreement. Yes?
I am. Add on top of that Indy is 7-1 against non-playoff teams.
Ooh.
7-1 is a big number. They win those games by an average of 12 points.
Ooh.
Houston's not a playoff team. I think Indy covers this. Eating a lot of chalk this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where we're at. When good teams are playing teams that are out of it, you either tease the good team down or just bet the good team and make sure they get there. There's 1 week, though, where those dogs all get there. We know it's coming, whether it's this week, next week, or the last week. Be careful. All right, now we're getting to the good shit. I like to call that. 3 games left. This is the Sunday night game. It was flexed to Sunday night. The Cleveland Browns it's now 6, fellas. It's -6. Open 4. It's now 6. 44 is the total. Cleveland is 8-5. 7-6 against the number, which is the Giants are 5-8, but 8-5 against the number. I'll start it off. I ain't never seen a crazy-ass game like that in a long time, that Monday night game. And that safety at the end swung millions, not thousands, millions of dollars with that stupid-ass flipping the ball bullshit. Something. They're going to have to change the rule for that. Something. You may be allowed 3 pitches, and then you got to just run and get killed. I don't know what it is, but that swung So much money. And I put out a funny tweet, picture of a guy holding his head like this. One guy looked like he was crying. He had Cleveland plus 3 or 3.5. Anyhow, I'll start this one off. I like the Giants. I like the Giants' money line. I think the Giants win this game. Cleveland's going to Sunday night with the Giants still in the division hunt. These intra-conference games, Cleveland ain't interested in this game. I don't think. I think they're coming in a big letdown spot for me. I like the points. I like the money line. I will go to Carl.
One thing I've realized over the last couple of weeks is the Browns aren't really that good.
Yeah.
They played a lot of garbage teams. They've only won 2 games all year by more than 6.5 points, which is the spread in this game.
Yes.
I don't know if I like the Giants' money line, but I definitely like them with the points.
Oh, my man, Carl Hascall, Hascall, at Carl Hascall on Twitter. JD, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing. And the former Brown coach will be the head coach of the Giants this week, if I'm not mistaken. I heard Judge
Kitchens
is
All in the place.
going to be the head coach.
Oh, is that a good thing or bad thing?
Well, a nice revenge angle. I mean,
Yeah. He got a lot to have revenge for. He fucked it up a lot. Yeah.
And you talk about teasers on Sunday night. I mean, I think the whole world rounds just to win. I like what you said. I like the 6. I like the plus 230 too on the money line. I think the Giants will be sneaky here. I do.
All right. HB, can we interest you in a dog yet today?
I'd agree with you, but I'm troubled by the way the Giants played against the Cardinals last week. That just didn't make any sense to me. Why they had a great opportunity at home against a very average Arizona team and played so poorly. I lean to the under, 44.5.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be kind of a slow go, a grinder, like a 20-13 type of game, 2016.
Okay. I think their problem last week was Daniel Jones is not healthy. Danny Dimes, whatever his name is, a quarterback for the Giants, he's beat up. And I'm actually hoping that Colt McCoy plays more. And I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but I feel like I know what I'm going to get with Colt McCoy. He's not going to go win the game and throw 3 touchdowns, but he's not going to go fuck it up, and he's going to take care of the ball. So if I got Colt McCoy starting Sunday, it's even maybe another extra little for me on the Giants Sunday night. Game number 2, from least to beast. We are almost there. It's number 2, Seahawks. Another game that's just the line is completely out of control. It's Seahawks are minus 6.5 points at the Washington football team, who all they do is win, baby. All they do is win. Their offense is terrible. Oh, my gosh. It looks like a junior high school offense. 6.5 point road favorite. 43 is the total. The Seahawks are 9-4, but they're only 7-6 against the number. 8-5 against the number for the Washington football team. I'll go to you first, JD. You get to lead us off here. What are you seeing with this one?
I would suggest buying the hook and taking Washington plus the 7. And
Okay.
I think that I think defensively with the pass rush, I think they're going to give Wilson fits. Their O-line is not good. So I think Chase Young and company is going to give Wilson fits. And I think they can keep it in a touchdown.
HB, dog here?
Yeah, the Washington football team has inspired me. They're playing for Rivera. I agree. The offense is tough to watch,
Ooh.
but maybe a defensive score or two, and they can hang around. Seattle's not good away from home, as we know. So,
Okay. Carl, anything for you?
Yeah, first of all, I wish Alex Smith was playing in this game.
So do I.
That would be a hell of a game. You know, I'm concerned that Seattle's looking at next week. They have the Rams next week for the division, and the Rams have a bye against the Jets this week. So it's a huge game for Seattle, but I don't know that they cover. I like the Redskins. Excuse me, the Washington.
They're still
team.
the fucking Redskins. We
know.
can't help ourselves. They've been the Redskins for our whole lives. We're all in the
I know.
50s. What are we going to do? They're the Redskins. I wish Alex Smith was playing. If Alex Smith was playing, man, this would be a really strong play. Haskins can throw a pick 6 or some bullshit, and then we don't get the cover. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I think I like the over in this game. I do. I just feel like this is it's so obvious that it's not. I lean over. I think Seahawks put up 28 points, which will be enough. And Washington can maybe get one or two. Young's going to pick up the ball and run it in again like he did last week. That he's their best offensive player right now. All right, this is it. This is the game. I don't know if you've heard. It's maybe the Super Bowl preview. It's the game of the week. It's the only game. The other games, Carl called it best. The Jets have the Rams have a bye against the Jets at this time slot, and the only other game in this time slot is the Eagles and the Cardinals, which it's a battle of the birds. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a great game, and I don't think anybody's going to be watching it because they're going to be watching this one. Chiefs, Saints. Chiefs -3. 52.5 is the total. 12-1 against 10-3. They're both very average against the number. 6-7 for the Chiefs, 7-6 for the Saints. I'll go last. I will kick this one off. Howard first. Chiefs, Saints, game of the week. Side total. What do you got?
Over. It's just the scoring fest.
That's it. This would be the ceiling play. For the listeners that are watching on YouTube, I'm going to tilt it up because it has to be that way. There's the ceiling. This game's going over. I don't know at what point both teams get in the 30s. I think they score 60 easy.
I was going to say 70.
Yeah, it's at least that. Just grab it, while you can and play it over in game as well. JD, what are you thinking here?
No Michael Thomas, but Breeze is back. How much he plays, I don't know.
Is that an improvement or really at Breeze's stage of his career with his injury? Is that the number was 3 before, the number was 3 after? So what does that tell you?
I think it's just more work for Andy Reid defensively. Not now he's got to prepare for Breeze and Hill, where initially it was just Hill. I think it's more smoke and mirror. I don't think the Saints lose 2 in a row. I think Kansas City's ripe for one more loss. This is the perfect spot. I like the Saints plus 135 in the money line.
Okay. The Chiefs have not covered 5 weeks in a row. They're the gift that keeps on giving back to the sports books because everybody bets them. They're fun. The uniforms are great. Mahomes is the MVP, and they score points. They just don't hold leads. They let teams hang around. Craziest ending to the game last week with them being up and then getting there and then not getting there. Ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. Carl, Chiefs, Saints, what do you think?
Yeah, so first of all, definitely the ceiling play. They're going to score 100 points in this game. But
hey, tell Mamas, please, off, lower. Thank you. Sorry.
What bothers
that's going to get me in trouble.
Between these two teams, they've got 22 wins, and I don't trust either of them this week. You got a 41-year-old quarterback coming back off of 73 broken ribs. How much is he going to play? How good is he going to be? And you got Kansas City that can't cover. Yeah. So it's over all day long, and enjoy the good shootout.
Right. Sit back and enjoy. Trying to pick a winner of this one. If you hold me against the wall, so you got to pick a winner. I think I'm going to go with Kansas City, but I've been riding Kansas City down. I'm not going to go against them now. I'll feel like a real jag off if I say, yeah, I'm going to pick the Saints and the Chiefs are going to win by 10. So I'm going down with the ship. I'll take the Chiefs down with me if I have to and get me maybe the Steelers back in the discussion for the number 1 seed. That's what I'm thinking. All right, that's the Run and Shoot 7. Let's get to some college. It's the last week of college. So, we're on the clock. We're going to go Run and Shoot 7. I got them in order. All we need is laying or taking. That's it. All right? And if you have it like a 5-second, you really like this or a nice little tidbit, throw it in there. First game of the laying or taking segment is Army hosting Air Force. Air Force -2.5. JD, kick us off. Laying or taking?
Laying. I don't think Navy can get up back-to-back. I'm sorry, Army can get up back-to-back, so I'm laying.
All right. I don't know if you can get up back-to-back either. You already went with Navy right there, and they're not even fucking playing. All right.
Army, Navy last week.
I know. I had to give you a little shit. Carl, laying or taking?
Yeah, I agree. I'm laying.
HB?
Laying.
Oh, God. I was going to say laying, but we're all laying, so I got to take just to be different. We got to tally it at the end. Illinois, Penn State. My God, Carl, if you go back and listen to the show, we said we're taking the opposite of the Penn State game because somebody's got to be right. I said that exact sentence. The fucking game was 15, and it landed on 15. Neither one of us was right. Keeping up with the theme of laying or taking. Let's reverse the order a little bit. Carl, you start us. Illinois is catching 15.5 at Penn State. Last game of the year. Laying or taking?
Laying.
JD?
Laying.
Howard?
Sorry, Dave. Taken.
Oh, no. You don't have to be sorry. I'm taking too. Why is anybody going to play in this game? I think points are going to be the premium. Number 3, Texas A&M -14 against Tennessee. Texas A&M has to make a statement. They are going to fucking kill Tennessee. I am laying. You could give me 17, 18, 20. I'm still laying. Howard, laying or taking?
Laying.
Yeah. Carl, come on in. Easy.
We're all laying.
JD?
Laying style points.
Ooh, style points. Oh, God. Watch Tennessee be driving to win the game at the end. That'll be great. All right. Now we're getting to the championship games. Boise State, San Jose State, Mountain West Championship here in Las Vegas. Boise -6.5. Hometown boy Howard, laying or taking?
Laying. The San Jose State run has been cute. Party's over.
Party's over. JD, what do you think?
Upset.
Ooh! Outright winner?
I like them, yes.
Okay. Carl?
Wow, I don't know if I like him to win, but I like him with the points. I'm taking
God. All right. Shit. I have no idea. I'll take. I don't know. JD's eyes went real big like this. He got excited. He said upset alert. So I'll take 6.5. Why not? All right. Let's get to the number 5 here on the list. Alabama, 17.5. How in the piss is Florida? They just lost to LSU. How in the hell are they going to keep up with Alabama, right? I'm taking. I'll go first. I'm taking. Stupid shit's going to happen eventually. I don't know. Maybe Florida gets run out the building again. The game's in Atlanta on the turf dome. I'm taking the points. JD, laying or taking?
I'm taking too. That peekaboo line was 12, and then as soon as they were losing, it went to 14. The public's taking it to 17. I'm taking.
Howard?
Agree. I think they wise up after the shoot throw.
Shoe throw. This guy cost the team a game with throwing a fucking shoe. Carl, what shoe you throwing, laying or taking?
You guys are all taking. I mean, you're all laying. I'm going to take.
No, we're taking. We're taking the points.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. You're all taking. I'm going to lay them.
Carl's figured the game out. That's it. He's figured the game out. Number 6 on the list, Tulsa, Cincinnati, the American Championship game in Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where Cincinnati plays. They don't play in that stadium, but they play in Cincinnati. It's a home game. -14? -14 against Tulsa? The total's 47.5. Makes no sense to me. This game makes no sense. I'll start. I'm laying, and I don't know why. Howard, your turn.
Game's down to 45.5 in many places. I'll go over. Over.
All right. JD.
Style points, laying.
Carl?
Laying.
Simple. All right. We're almost there, fellas. 3 big games left. Northwestern, Ohio State. Ohio State down to 18.5. Little late movement. Simple. Howard, go.
I'd lay 30.
Laying. I'll go second. I'm also laying. They changed the rules to let this team in. They ain't going to let them not win. This is going to, again, somebody's going to have to question some flags because Ohio State's going to blow them out. Carl, your turn.
I should be laying, but I'm going to take because I want Darren to win. So I'm going taking, and I hope Northwestern wins outright.
Speaking of which, we'll get to that in a second after JD gives the pick. Go.
I'm taking, and the only reason I'm taking, and you're going to hear tomorrow, COVID's running rampant supposedly at Ohio State.
Yep.
And one of the wide receivers will be out, potentially some more others. I'm only taking, and I think that's why it's moved 2 points.
Listen, you're in Cape Cod and you heard that information. What do you think the sports books? You think they heard? Everybody knows this shit. You ain't giving nobody no secrets. Listen, the kid playing second, the kid playing third for Ohio State is better than every kid on that team on Northwestern. I'm just telling you, I know it feels like it. Northwestern will be a feel-good story. Darren Ravel, actually, him and I spoke today. He has a bet on the Northwestern to win the Big Ten. It's a $1,500 to win $240,000. He's going to be tweeting about it tomorrow. Follow him at Darren Ravel, and he's going to call me or something, phone a friend, some bullshit. I don't know. You'll see it on Twitter, but he said to me, "What do you think?" I said, "What do I think? I think you're dead. Go bet Ohio State." That's what I fucking think. So there you go. Number 2 on the list, man, Oklahoma, Iowa State. I'm taking. Simple. Carl?
Taken.
JD?
We're riding the Rattler and laying.
Okay. Howard?
Taking.
Well, it feels maybe like we're on the wrong side of all that. The way JD gave me that little side move right there for the listeners or viewers on YouTube. He went laying. All right. I know what that means. Last game that we got to talk about. Clemson, Notre Dame. Notre Dame won the first time they played without Lawrence. Notre Dame has a defense. Notre Dame's going to keep this one close. Notre Dame can actually win and mess up the whole big-ass party for the college football playoff. I'll start. It ain't happening. Bet Clemson. Lay the points comfortably. Enjoy the show. That's where I'm at with it. JD, slide it. What do you got?
I'm hearing the same thing you are, too. Trevor Lawrence in a romp.
Howard?
Glad I'm not last because I agree.
Carl?
Then I got a dissent again. I'll take it. I know how the game is played. I might be 0-9, but at least it'll be a fun 0-9.
That's it. That's all the games we got. That's it for laying or taking. Man, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Championship Saturday is going to feel a little bit different, look a little bit different, but, man, I'm glad there's games, and I'm glad we're going to have college football, so enjoy that. All right, before we wrap it up, I want to mention that the Digital Gaming Today subscription right now is $185 for the year. You get award-winning content analysis, stats, picks, casino industry news, and more. You get a Don Best feed with real-time lines and scores from 6 Vegas sportsbooks, links to casino deals and sportsbook app signups. You even get the Gaming Today newspaper in digital form. Just go to gamingtoday.com/register. All right. This segment's been taken off. This Take a Minute, where you get to say and talk about whatever you want. So, Howard, you came in, you stayed. You got to lead us off with a Take a Minute segment on the way out that starts in 3, 2, 1.
For many reasons, I believe that college football was terribly negligent in the way they handled the COVID situation. And I'm not going to sit here and say I have the answers on how they could have done it right or better, but it turned out to be pretty much a disaster. I hope they learn something at these universities when it comes to the college basketball season and when the conference play and tournament play and the March Madness is on the horizon, because it would be a real shame if we go down that same road. Again, I can't sit here and profess to know the answers, but there's got to be a better way.
Okay. And he's out. That's good. All right. Carl, when we have the guests stay around, we go first and let the guests go right before me. So you're our next, sir, with your Take a Minute segment on the DL right now, but mending well in the sling. The list was great. Everything's good. Your turn starts in 2, 1, go.
So I'm going to go less than 60 seconds, I think, here. I had this year I had a pretty tough year with some medical things early in the year, some scares that I had. I've been out of work almost a year. You guys have been a little bit of a ray of sunshine here over the last few weeks for me. But I got to be honest and say that if it wasn't for my wife, I don't know if I would have made it through the year. She's been my rock, and I am so happy to have her in my life because I think she saved my life this year. And we're through it, and we're on to 2021. And I just want to say thank you, even though she's probably not going to take a minute for my take a minute. I just want to make sure that she knows how much I appreciate her.
Man, that's good. We can bring her into the show. I told you last week, maybe, just bring her in, listen to the show, and come on in. It's okay. Even if she just listens to the end, fast forward it to the minute, the 1 hour mark, listen to the last 10 minutes. That's good. So he's Carl Hascall, at Carl Hascall. That was Howard at Gaming Today News on Twitter. Still absent, at He These Takes, birthday boy Mo Pearson, and the formula guy at %Berg, Alan Berg. Let's go to Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest. Hung around the whole time, gave us some good insight, talking about the business, telling a great story about giving out both sides of the game. You got 1 minute, sir. Ready, set, go.
Just to take a minute and thank everyone here. Thank you, Dave, for again, we haven't met personally, but we've talked for hours on the phone. We've texted. It's been a great story, and I can't wait till this COVID thing opens up a little more, and so I can get out to Vegas and break some bread and walk around to the casino, see the new Circa. I do love the South Point with Jimmy and the boys over there, but also grateful for the games. I know everyone likes to bitch and complain because the games are being postponed. Well, you know what? The games are still being played, and we get the NBA tipping off on Tuesday. Hockey's to a 56 game schedule. Before you know it, will be spring training, hopefully for baseball. And then we'll be talking the Masters in April. So I'm grateful for all the sports that are still playing.
Amen to that, man. That's Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest. My God, let's hope that continues some way, one way or the other. The NFL keeps powering through. College football's been a hit and miss. College basketball's off to kind of a weird start. Let's hope hockey and the NBA come, and get it right from the beginning. And we need that March Madness. We need that March Madness so bad. There got to be college basketball tournament. Otherwise, everybody's going to be wondering, what the hell are we going to do now? All right. My Take a Minute segment here is going to start in 1 second. I just wanted to mention, I wanted to congratulate our boy Vic Chalksey. He got the gig with radio.com. My man, Vic, I know you listen to the show. We're proud of you, buddy. We can't wait to, talk to you actually, but very happy for you. That's a new gig. He's going to, be doing some stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Vic. I wrote it wrong. Shit. Sorry, Vic. We'll get it out.
Doc Squad 33.
Doc Squad 33. That's it. I wrote his name instead of that. Doc Squad 33. Thanks. That's Reynolds. I am Reynolds 2305. My guy Brad Howe at Brad Howe 7. The game within the game is growing every week. That's a Monday show that I do, and it's been a lot of fun. We gave out Nick Chubb to score the first touchdown last week and got it right. And then I went on and said he's going to score 2 and got that right too. So for those of you that sent me DMs, much appreciated. Let's just keep finding winners. You ain't got to send me nothing. We're good. Send Jeff the money and follow along with him. I'm good right now. And my guy, Sports Talk Matt, he keeps doing this thing on the Daily Juice. Follow his podcast, another Boston guy. He talks about us, talks about this show and all the things that we're doing. He's my partner in the Westgate Reboot Contest, and, you can follow along with him. All right, so my Take a Minute segment starts right now, and I'm going to try to keep it maybe under 3 minutes. My medical tour continues. I had some follow-up appointments this week. I got to go back and see Dr. D, and my man played right along. After the prostate exam, we walked in, Jessica and I, and she sat on the bench. I sat on the chair, and he walked in and went like this with the glove and said, "All right, it's your turn," to my wife. I said, "Dr. D remembers us both." So that was fun. I went for a nerve conduction test. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. A nerve conduction test is you walk in, and I had a great woman named Lorraine. I know she's listening to the show now because we had a really fun time she goes, "You know what this test is?" I said, "No." She goes, "I'm going to shock you, and then the doc's going to stab you. How do you feel?" I said, "Oh, sounds like a great time. I can't wait." It's a 2-pronged thing that she puts 3 sensors on you, and she says, "You're going to jump every time I hit you with it." literally like getting shocked, electrocuted every time. About 8 minutes of that, all different parts of your body. Thank God all my nerves are good. Then the doc comes in and makes sure that everything's still working, pricks you with a bunch of like acupuncture needles to make sure that all your nerves are good. Sounds great. Really didn't hurt. It was just a little bit scary. So as you get older, we're giving out picks. We're giving out plays. We're giving out, go get your shit checked. It don't hurt that bad, and it's a good way to stay healthy as you get to 50 and over. That's going to do it for the show. We are going to change the schedule for next week. I don't know yet when. We're going to try to get together. We know Christmas is next week, so we're going to try to get it out before then, once we get the guests lined up maybe and just get it together. So keep that in mind. Thank you for following the show. We're climbing up. We're over 1,600, almost 1,650 at GT Cash Consider. For the boys, let's swing it around. Our guest tonight, Jeff Dawson, great job tonight, brother. It's the beginning. This is not just a one-off. This is the beginning of hopefully a long, extended relationship. I can't wait to break bread with you, just like you said. He's at EC Sports Invest. HB popped in, stayed around the whole show. Now you can't leave. At Gaming Today News on Twitter. Carl, at Carl Hascall, Hascall, kicking ass, doing his thing, and even giving a little shout-out to the wife. My man knows where it's at. That's going to do it for me. I am Dave Sherapan at Sports BK Consig, Sportsbook Consigliere. We will talk to you guys next week. We are out.